But let's go and see how the internet did react to the game last night. First up, we got the Spurs Express. Harry Kane congratulates HeungMin Son on making 400 appearances for Spurs last night. It's Son put out on Instagram saying 400 appearances at our club is a special milestone and really proud for feeling for me and my family. Last night was not the result, and then he went on to talk about that, and then Harry Kane just commented saying congrats, brother.
Nice moment for Kane. Another assist, lovely. But yeah, look, it breaks my heart a bit that he's saying it from Bayern Munich, but it's what it is. What can I say?
HMS Top Son shows a clip of HeungMin Son after the game last night. He looked angry, shouting at all his teammates, saying, "Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?" The tweet says, "Sonny is mad as F."
He's shouting at Richarlison. Is he shouting at Rishi?
Don't know. It's like Romero as well.
He's getting involved. Look, this is something that a lot of people say that Sonny doesn't have in him. You know, he's too much Mr. Nice Guy. He's not he's not the kind of leader who will have a go at his teammates. But there's evidence that look, I've seen him a few times this season have a real go at someone if it feels like they're not doing the right thing. So for me, I think Son is a proper leader. He's not just one of these guys who, yes, he is nice, and that's how he likes to lead, generally, supporting other players and being very supportive in general. But he also has it in him to call people out and be critical of people if he feels that he needs that. They need that. And maybe yesterday there was more frustration or anything, but that also shows that side to him.
Yeah, and I love to see it. Squawker say Brenan Johnson has now been directly involved in more Premier League goals for Tottenham, 12 in 24 games, than he was in Nottingham Forest, 11 in 41 games. He now has 3 goals and 3 assists in his last 7 Premier League appearances. So Brenan really growing in this Spurs shirt.
Yeah, and really, really positive. So more goal contributions now than than he had in the season, which made us decide to spend 50 million on him. So that's really positive. And seeing how young he is, and he's already starting to get these consistent goal contributions. Hopefully, he's only going to get better and better as well. So that's really, really encouraging.
Yeah, absolutely. Jayco says, "Miss you" to Gianni Vio.
Yeah, I think we all do, man. Honestly. What I'll do to have him back. Bring back Vio. We need a set piece coach.
Apparently he's just taken a job at the American national team or some national team.
He moves around a lot, to be fair.
Yeah. Bring him back is what I say. Whose idea was it to get rid of him? Because he didn't leave with Conte, didn't he? He left after Conte left, like at the beginning of this season.
It was weird. There was never really announced that he was leaving. I don't know if he felt like he'd been here for 2 years or something, so now he needs to leave. But I think it was a bad decision to get rid of him, considering how we're performing at the moment from set pieces.
Yeah. Zara says Captain Son looked so proud of Brenan yesterday, and look at these images. Unbelievable stuff. Sonny delighted
it was
for
a great
Brenan.
moment, and I love those hugs from Son.
Captain material, HeungMin Son. Zara, this is Son with his 2 bodyguards in Romero and Van de Ven
No one
yesterday.
screwing with Son when they got those 2 on. Love it. Absolutely love it.
The Spurs Watch tweeted out last night saying Kulusevski is absolutely useless, and Alex THFC responded to that saying the standards are ridiculously high on Kulusevski. If we expect him to hit Richarlison with a perfect cross at this point, it was shit, but let's be realistic. Kulusevski is not the reason why we didn't win, but it suits the agenda, I guess. And I agree that Kulusevski is not the reason that we didn't win that game yesterday, but he does need to be doing better.
Yeah, but I don't like this pile-on. Like,
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Either.
Yes, it was a bad moment for him. Don't get me wrong. I was frustrated, but I think people make a good point. Like, where everyone sort of sends support to Richarlison about, he's talking about mental health and all this stuff, and then people are happy to pile on at moments like that, as if players don't see that and as if they don't feel like it's going to affect them and things like that. Look, maybe Kulusevski will look at that and think and use that as fuel, as motivation to improve and get better. But a lot of players might look at that. I don't know how their mentality is. A lot of players might look at that and think, I am doing shit. I'm not doing very well, and it can really get into their head. And I don't like to see that. They need support in those kind of moments. Yes, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say that was fine what Kulusevski did. I don't even think he needed to cross it to Richarlison. He could have held the ball up. You see, we got a lot of players in support there. So yes, I know he needs to be doing better, but I don't like tweets like that Kulusevski's useless, people like calling him out, saying he's rubbish, all that kind of stuff, and then like as if they're trying to drag him down or something. I don't like that at all. I think it's a really terrible way to use this platform.
It's the mentality in this day and age. A couple of bad performances and you're literally public enemy number one. And it's ridiculous. Like, it's all right to criticize. Criticizing is fine, but to do that pile on and say this and that and keep going and non-stop, I think it's just so over the top, and it doesn't need to happen. For me, Kulusevski is a quality player. I love Kulusevski, and I know I've given him a lot of stick this season in terms of what he does from the right wing, but that doesn't take away from the fact I know what qualities he has, and I know he can be a top player for us. I just don't think it can be from the right wing. I'd much prefer him to move in those central areas, and he got that chance yesterday, albeit not for a very long time because he did move out to the right-hand side. But to say that a lot of people I'm seeing like Kulusevski is absolutely useless, he's by far useless. He's a quality player with the attributes that he does have. Let's be real.
If you tweet that saying, Kulusevski's got to do better here or something like that, that's different. But then you're tweeting out something literally just attacking him, I think it's completely uncalled for.
Yeah. THFC Cho saying Werner's shimmy to his left. And this is LeBron.
Unstoppable. Just as good as LeBron, I think. I think he does it better, in my opinion.
Much better.
Unstoppable. The GOAT, Timo Werner. Love that.
Yido90 says, can anyone hand on heart say that they're enjoying watching this Spurs side?
See, this is what I don't like. I am enjoying it. Yes, there are some performances which, like yesterday, is frustrating, but I am genuinely enjoying watching Spurs. Like on the weekend, I enjoyed our performance. We created lots of chances. We should have won the game all comfortably. And then you're going to have games like Fulham where it wasn't good and I didn't enjoy it. But by and large this season, most games have been very exciting, a lot of great attacking football, and it's been very enjoyable to watch. That Villa game was very, very enjoyable to watch. Like the City game when we drew 3-3 at the Etihad, the Arsenal game in the Emirates, brilliant games of football where we played great stuff and went toe-to-toe with some great teams. Like, I hate tweets like this where people are just like trying to put some weird narrative that like it's been terrible the whole season and like haven't enjoyed watching Spurs at all. Like come on guys, like yes it wasn't the result we wanted, but I don't get these kind of narratives people try to twist on it.
And this is on the back of watching like drab Conte, Stellini and Mason ball last season. Like it's 10 times better than what we saw last season. Let's be real. And yes, there has been games and we haven't been at our fluid best for a while now. That's got to be true. But there are moments in games that get you off your seat. And in every game, there's at least moments where we put some really nice patterns of play together and you can see the nucleus of a team really coming together and start to see, getting back to those first 10 games of the season, getting back to being at our fluid best. And I think don't judge Ange until maybe we're halfway through next season or even by the end of next season, because I think that's when you're going to see the real Ange ball come out. Lily White Lab says those games will never suit Son as a 9. Just didn't give their centre-backs anything to think about. Would have had Rishi on a lot earlier.
And then the Son point, these games never suit Son. Yeah, it didn't suit Son yesterday, that's for sure. I do think when Son is at his sharpest, he can still have a role to play in these kind of games. If he's at his best, he can get the ball very quickly out of his feet and get a shot off very quickly. But in games like yesterday, sometimes when he's crowded out and if he's looking for that extra second on the ball or half second, then it's going to be very, very difficult for him. And it definitely was yesterday. I think in general, you probably want someone with a bit more physicality in a number 9 in that kind of game. So it's probably a decent point. But I do think we have seen games as well where Son has made a bit of an impact. But I do think by and large in these kind of games, it's always going to be a bit more struggle for him.
Yeah, it's just frustrating that it took him so long to recognise that and so long to bring on a Richarlison. Like, so long. When you could see the fans were calling for it for a while, weren't they? Getting that Richarlison song going. THFC report just bringing all the Spurs players walking off after the game looking dejected, really. They know they should have won that game last night.
Yeah, I think it's good that they didn't think the point was a good point. Like, they're happy that I'm happy that they're disappointed at the point rather than I don't want them coming away with thinking, oh, it's a fine result, whatever. I think you can see after the game that they thought they should have been doing better. So that's how we're going to drive them on to improve. And I think that's a good mentality to have. Yeah.
Back on the point, by the way, the previous thing with the front three, I know Werner didn't have the greatest game last night, but I know I said it to you last night, but I'm starting to warm to him. I really am. I like his mentality. I really do. I like what he offers in terms of, you know, getting down the byline, that shift out to the left and getting balls in the box. I think he creates at least like one big chance every single game. And as long as he's not brought in as our first choice starting left winger next season, I'm warming to the idea of taking up that 15 million shot for him.
Yeah, as I say, if it's him plus another one, it's not going to be the end of the world. I'm not going to be that disappointed. I do think he has a use, to be honest. I do like him. But as you say, if we're signing him thinking he's going to take us to the next level, I think that would be a mistake.
But as a squad player, I think he would be really good. All right. Well, there you have it. That is our stream for you guys post-match of the 1-1 frustrating draw at West Ham last night. Thank you, everyone, for watching us today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.